Hi, everybody. I wanted to make a video looking at. There's been a lot of talk about, like, why are Chelsea playing a back three when they played a 4-2-3-1 all of preseason? Um, and I think there's some interesting conversations to have with respect to that. Um, so I figured that I should do that because I think we can talk about it because I don't think that's actually true. So this is the team who played against Liverpool and the team who played against West Ham. It's the same team, the same 11, anyways. So in preseason, what we saw was Chelsea played a 4-2-3-1 that would look something like this. Okay, the players were different, but it would be a left back, center back, right back, two sixes, winger, 10 winger, and a 9. What this has been reported as has been this. 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1 with a back five, two sixes, two wingers / tens, and a 9. So again, you can see really all this is moving two players. Nothing changes. It's really just moving two players. So already we can recognize that like positions as we think of them are not this like tight box that people are kept in. Things change throughout the match, right? A low and narrow fullback and a low and wide winger is now a back three. The numbers and the positions really don't matter. But again, I think it's important. What we saw was this in preseason was a 4-2-3-1. One of the fullbacks would come low and narrow, and the other fullback would either be high and wide or they would invert to become the second midfielder. Those were the options we saw. When Cucurella played, you saw Cucurella come low, you saw Gusto come inside, the 8 would get high, the winger would give width, the fullback or the other winger would give width, and you'd get this box. Okay, that was one option. When it wasn't Cucurella, it was, say, Chilwell. Chilwell, in preseason, this would be Chilwell. Chilwell would be high and wide. You'd make your back three from the two center backs and the right back. You'd make two sixes with your midfielders, right? So here would be Gallagher and Enzo. And then your 10, winger 10 would skew to the right, right? Exact same. What we have seen from Chelsea in the last couple games is they have just made the back three with the left back, like they did with Cucurella. That's Colwill in this case. So you end up with Gusto high and wide, Sterling inside, Chukwuemeka 10, Chilwell holding the width. Double 6, 9. Nothing has changed structurally in possession. I'll show you some clips. Nothing has changed structurally. It's still 3-2 build base. Sometimes it's 3-1 and you end up with like a diamond. We've seen this a few times. But generally, it looks like this. You get the box, full width from the wingers, or from the fullback and the winger. Chilwell is just playing as a winger, 9. When they defend, Colwill is just playing as a left back, right? So they still defend in a 4. They still press in a 4. There's some tendencies, right? Like we saw against West Ham that Soufal gets really high, so Chilwell would follow sometimes, and it would look like a 5. But again, it's still a 4-2-3-1. Okay, so I wanted to show it on the tactics board so you can see it clearly with everybody moving around. Now let's look at some video. It's the video from Liverpool. So again, we have access to the tactics cam for this game, so we can see what some of the things look like in possession. Okay, so we can see Thiago Silva plays Disasi. 1, 2, 3, 2. Full width from Gusto, full width from Chilwell, winger, fullback, winger, 10, 9. Right? It's the exact same. Left back narrow, left winger wide, right back wide, right winger narrow. It's the exact same to create the box. You get the exact same box with the 9. We can see as it plays out, right? You get the exact same access as we get. Liverpool press 4-3-3, very narrow 3, very narrow front 3. Okay, so you end up playing the box to try and outnumber the 3, and you can stretch the windows between the front 3 very easily. You get access into Sterling here for a great chance. You have the same box arrivals, fullback winger. You still have 3-1 rest defense. Everything is the same. Here's another one. 1, 2, 3. Fullback, winger, 10, 9. Here you have only the 1-6, so you end up with like the skewed diamond. That's fine. Okay, Enzo's a little bit higher. We saw this a little bit against Liverpool where we'd go 3-1. Right, here we go 3-1. It doesn't really work out. Again, 3-2. 1, 2, 3. Double base. Full width fullback, full width winger, 10, 10, 9. It's the exact same. So we're talking about, okay, yes, sure, look, it looks different because it's Colwill. Colwill is in the exact same position she was against Liverpool, as he was against Brighton in preseason, as he was against Fulham in preseason, as he was against West Ham. So I'll show this. After this, we'll show some stuff from preseason, and then we'll show West Ham. Right? It's the exact same spots. Here they make the diamond. Enzo rolls out. Fine. So your width gets higher. That's okay. So here you're loading the last time with 4 instead of 5. That's okay. We saw that in preseason too. Drive inside from wide center. But sometimes you see Chelsea flip into a 3-2, and now you can see this a little bit more clearly. Gusto comes narrow, center back, double 6, fullback high, winger inside. Your 10, your opposite winger, and your 9 is stretching the line. And there's a few things that are really nice about this. The first is that it frees up your outside center backs to make plays, especially if you have, like, let's say this was Reece James. You have the ability to dribble and break lines, but also you have the ability to pass into the next line after you dribble, which is really, really huge. It frees Silva to be a little bit less having to dribble, right? Everything is like incisions from the middle, right? And you're able to stretch the line. So one thing that we saw a little bit is we'd end up with a box with the 10, the winger, and the 2 6s. And what I want you to be mindful of this is that if you pull the 2 6s really narrow, right? So you're here. The 2 6s are narrow, so they've shrunk the midfield line. You have the 3 stepping out to press 3v3. So they're pressing 5v5, which means the space has to be in the line between the back line and the midfield or behind the back line. Because the back line is deeper here, it's in between. So you're thinking about these players in the box. Now here's West Ham. We don't have tactics cam on this, so you can't see everybody. You'll have to deal with it. 1, 2, 3. Double 6. Fullback high and wide. Winger 9. You can see the edge of Carney here, and then you can see You can't see Chilwell full width, or Chilwell and Carney have swapped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Double 6. 1, 2, 3. It's the exact same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Double 6. Back 3. Everything's the same in possession. Same thing. You get the same box you always get, right? I've seen a lot of people saying, like, oh, Chilwell can't go interior. He absolutely can. Matson's maybe a little bit better at it, but he absolutely can. So that's in possession, right? We can see in possession, everything's the same. Everything is the same. Now we look at the press. 1, 2, 3, 4. Colwill is left back. Double 6, Enzo Gallagher. Winger 10, winger 9. Right? We'll show the Brighton clips from preseason after this. One of the 6s would jump. If the winger wasn't narrow, it would look 4-1, 4-1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This is exactly what we saw in preseason. It's a good win. Whatever, we get transitions out of it. You still have 4, 2, 3, 1. Now, you look, and this is where some people, and again, it's easy to get confused, and I understand, and it's like not a super big deal. Players are in different spots. So here you end up in a moment, I can't remember what the context is before this, where Chilwell, instead of being the winger, is low and narrow, right? You might see this more often from a wingback, but really if this was a 3, what you'd probably see is Chilwell here and Colwill here. Like that would tell you that it's a 3 defensively, but it's not. Your weak side winger is tucked in low because one of the 6s has jumped, and you need stability here. But you get, again, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your fullback. Double 6, winger 10, winger 9. Everything is trying to keep the ball strong side. Okay, and here now we'll show some clips from Brighton from the video that I made a few weeks ago. Through some stuff. So Chelsea have mostly pressed 4-2-3-1 or 4-1-4-1, where it's always a 4-2-3-1 in possession. So you might have one of the sixes stepping in to make 4-1-4-1. Brighton build with a 4-2, even though they defended in a 5-2-3 in this game, but always a 4-2 in possession. And one of the interesting challenges with that is how do you press the two sixes out of a 4-2-3-1? And so we'll see kind of two variations from Chelsea in this game. One, where it's a 4-1-4-1, you'll have one of the sixes step. It might be Gallagher, it might be Santos, it might be whoever, but generally one of the sixes is stepping, the 10 is taking the other one, and the wingers are still narrow to deal with outside shoulders of the sixes, but they're also there to deal with the fullbacks. The other option is you might see a winger come narrow when they've done a good job of locking to one side, and you'll see a winger take the far side six, the 10 take the strong side six, and the winger deals with the ball side fullback. So there's kind of two variations. Okay, and now here is West Ham. 9, winger, 10, 8 jumped, right? We talked about this. The 8 sometimes jumps to make 4-1-4-1. Here's your 6. Here's your weak side winger. No problems. 4-2-3-1 sometimes looks like 4-3-3 or 4-4-2. That's okay. Back 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left back, center back, right back. This is the same. Here it is again. 9, winger, stepping 6, 10, winger. Absolutely. 10 flows on, we jump. Here's your 6, back 4. Boom. So again, I just wanted to show these clips to show it's not that different. Everything is the same. Everything is the same. Yes, this being here instead of having Gusto inside is different. Absolutely. Does it change some tendencies? Yes. The only difference that I want you to think about this is that if you replace Chilwell with, say, Mudryk, you would have Chilwell full width. Let's say you decide that instead of Silva, you want to go with Mudryk. Where did I put you, Mr. Mudryk? You want to go with Mudryk, and we'll get Silva off the pitch because we've decided no more old men. We're going to change things. Silva gets off the pitch. So you end up with this instead. This is fine, right? I have no practical dislike of this. But what I want you to recognize is this. Mudryk cannot do this role. He came on for Carney and was really bad at it and only looked decent again when he went to this role. If Carney is out for a long time, you don't really have that many players who can do this pocket role. And you do have players who can do this role. Right? So as much as you are saying, okay, yes, we'd rather it look like this, that's fine. I agree with you. But if Sterling is max width, he's not inside. So in theory, you could play like this, potentially. And then maybe this is Gallagher. And then you have Caicedo come on. There are options, right? And yes, there are things to worry about with the tendencies. But vaguely, broadly, the structure is the same. Okay, that's all I wanted to show. Thank you and enjoy.